For over a century, the fundamental agreement of commerce was built on a transparent, predictable exchange of value, but today that foundational trust has been erased by a terrifying, invisible architecture designed to extract every possible cent of your disposable income in real time. We are not engaging in a fair communal marketplace anymore, but a saturated psychological extraction engine wearing the face of modern convenience.
The price you pay can change several times per day.
To understand the magnitude of this retail shift, we must look at the history of the fixed price tag. In the late 19th century, a merchant named John Wanamaker revolutionized global commerce by introducing the physical price tag to his department stores. Grounded in Quaker philosophy, Wanamaker believed that if everyone was equal before God, everyone should be equal before the price. Before this invention, every single transaction required exhausting face-to-face haggling, where the merchant would calculate your wealth, your desperation, and your ignorance and charge you accordingly. The fixed price tag was a great societal equalizer. It established a baseline of trust and mutual reality in the public square. Today, massive corporate conglomerates are quietly tearing down Wanamaker's equalizer, plunging us back into an era of ruthless haggling. However, the modern consumer is not negotiating with a human merchant. They are bargaining against an omniscient, automated pricing engine that knows exactly how much money is in their bank account, how often they purchase a specific item, and exactly how desperate they are at any given moment. This practice, gently sanitized by public relations departments as surge pricing or flexible rates, is entirely designed to shatter price transparency by constantly shifting the cost of basic goods and services based on microscopic fluctuations in weather, time of day, and personal browsing history. Corporations are successfully conditioning the public to accept financial instability as a natural law of commerce.
More supermarkets are using digital ads, meaning the price you pay can change several times per day.
The price of your groceries may soon change right in front of your eyes. A glimpse of what shoppers could soon see is already on display in Europe, where the Wall Street Journal found prices at some grocery stores can change up to 100 times per day. The technology behind it? Digital shelf labels, small electronic screens that can instantly display new prices at the push of a button, and they're being used more and more across the U.S.
The true danger of this system was perfected not in the grocery aisle, but in the entertainment sector. For years, the ride-hailing industry acted as the Trojan horse, convincing the public that paying triple the normal rate to get home during a rainstorm was simply the cost of efficiency. But the mask fully slipped during the live events boom of the mid-2020s, culminating in the disastrous 2024 Oasis reunion tour. When millions of fans logged on to purchase tickets, they were subjected to hours of grueling, manufactured online queues. When they finally reached the checkout screen, the baseline agreement of the transaction had evaporated. Fans discovered that standard standing room tickets, originally advertised at £135, had violently inflated to over £350 at the exact moment of purchase. The corporate defense for this practice is consistently framed as a protective measure. By raising prices instantly, they claim to be preventing third-party scalpers from buying out the inventory. Dynamic pricing on Ticketmaster, where prices rise in line with demand, set some remaining tickets at more than £350, $460, up from £135, $177, when the sale began. In reality, the corporation has simply eliminated the middleman to become the ultimate monopolistic scalper. By waiting until the consumer is emotionally invested, exhausted from the queuing process, and experiencing acute fear of missing out, the automated pricing engine successfully extracts the absolute maximum capital possible. Following immense public backlash, the UK Competition and Markets Authority, CMA, launched an extensive review in 2025 into these exact practices, highlighting how consumers are intentionally stripped of the necessary information required to make rational financial choices. The system relies heavily on emotional exhaustion. It is an economic hostage situation dressed up as supply and demand. The most terrifying evolution of this system is its rapid migration from luxury event tickets into the realm of basic human survival, the grocery store. In early 2024, the fast food chain Wendy's faced immediate, catastrophic public backlash when its CEO casually discussed rolling out flexible menu boards that could alter the cost of a burger depending on the time of day. While the company desperately walked back the statement, the underlying technology was already quietly being installed across the globe.
The drive-thru. More Americans are heading to the deli counter for dinner. According to the International Business Information Service, Americans spent more than $400 billion on fast food last year alone. And as Western Mass News reporter Chris Pisano found out, rising menu prices are weakening the traditional cheap and easy appeal of many quick-serve restaurants.
Traditionally, grocery stores have been the place we shop for, well, groceries. But increasingly, these same stores are offering ready-made meals, food that requires little, if any, preparation and effort to serve for yourself or your family.
Way more convenient, yeah. Just don't have the time to cook. You know, babysitting and working and no time to cook.
Once considered an affordable eating option, a survey from LendingTree showed nearly 80% of Americans say fast food is now a luxury because it's become so expensive.
By 2026, major retail giants and household supermarkets began replacing physical paper labels with electronic shelf tags. These glowing screens allow a central office to alter the price of milk, eggs, and bread thousands of times a day without a single employee walking down the aisle. The ultimate goal is moving beyond mere time of day adjustments toward complete, individualized surveillance pricing. The presenters reported evidence of systematic price variation. 74% of products displayed multiple simultaneous prices. Some products appeared at up to 5 different prices at once, and shoppers appeared to be sorted into 4 to 8 price tiers per store. This prompted a flurry of emergency legislation across the United States. Lawmakers in Pennsylvania, for example, pushed to explicitly ban algorithmic pricing in physical retail settings. They recognized the profound societal threat. When the price of a carton of eggs shifts from the time you place it in your cart to the time you reach the register, the concept of a household budget is completely destroyed. You are no longer a customer making a choice, you are a captive participant in an endless financial stress test. When we analyze this through a structural lens, we realize this is not a marketplace. It is an information war. In classical economics, a healthy transaction requires both the buyer and the seller to have roughly equal access to information. If you know the car is a lemon, you won't pay full price. But the modern pricing engine operates on a terrifying asymmetry of information. When you open a mobile application to order a ride, book a hotel, or buy a bag of groceries, you only know 2 things: what you want and the number blinking on the screen. The corporation, however, possesses a sprawling dossier on your existence. They know your exact geographical coordinates. They know the battery level of your phone, understanding that if your device is at 2% power in a dangerous neighborhood, you will accept literally any price to secure a ride home. They measure how many milliseconds your thumb hesitates over the purchase button. This creates a system of perfect price discrimination. The goal is no longer to find a fair market value for an item. The goal is to calculate the absolute maximum pain threshold of every single individual consumer. The system isolates you in a personalized reality where the cost of living is secretly customized to drain your specific bank account. You cannot compare prices with your neighbor because your neighbor is seeing an entirely different set of numbers based on their own behavioral history. The public square has been completely dismantled and replaced with millions of invisible individual interrogation rooms. The ultimate philosophical tragedy of this entire economic shift is the commodification of vulnerability. The core defense of fluctuating pricing is that it perfectly mirrors the actual cost of supply and demand. But this is a calculated lie. When a heavy thunderstorm hits a major city, the actual operational cost of driving a car from point A to point B does not quadruple. The gasoline does not suddenly become 4 times as expensive. The wear and tear on the tires does not multiply. The only thing that has changed is the desperation of the human being standing in the rain. This pricing architecture does not measure value, it strictly measures leverage. It allows monolithic corporations to quietly act as disaster capitalists on a microscopic daily scale. Whether it is a commuter trying to get home, a parent buying diapers late at night, or a family purchasing flights for a funeral, the system is programmed to identify the moment of maximum human need and aggressively penalize the consumer for experiencing it. We have built an economic infrastructure structure that actively punishes desperation, ensuring that the sheer act of existing in the modern world requires paying an ever-shifting, unpredictable toll
Americans
just to
are
survive the
buying
day.
less groceries. Grocery product purchases were flat in 2025, then declined about 2% year over year in most months since February of 2026. That's according to a report by Nielsen IQ and Bain & Company.